Howdy everyone. Well, we're going to do a little diorama dusting. Let's see, I love to work outside, but the highway is about a mile that way, and you can hear how loud it is. And we're a small town, but it's a busy highway because we're in between Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. But it is another beautiful day after, I don't know, 3 days of rain. So we're going to dust this diorama, and I'll show you what I use for dust. You'll get a kick out of this because I think you're learning I'm a bit thrifty. So I'm pretty friendly with the folks at Home Depot down here. We got a Home Depot, believe it or not. And I get this. Anybody know what that is? Tile grout. They're bags and containers of tile grout rip when they're stocking all the time. And it gets all over the floor. And I know the manager, and I asked him, I don't know, a couple years ago now, that when they sweep it up, put it in a bucket I bought, one of their buckets, and I'll come and get it. So that's how I get it. I sift it, and boom, dust, free. They were gonna throw away. That makes me feel good. I do all kinds of stuff like that. So, I got myself a brush. I just dip my brush into the grout, knock it off a little bit, and we're gonna go to town. We're going to dust this thing up. Don't worry about getting it all over the place, it happens. It's windy today. But I pretty much cover everything. And then I'm gonna shake the box and let it go into my fire pit, because I think it's got enough of a second life. I put some clear on the 68 Charger today, some matte clear, and boy, I love how that ties all that rust effect and ties it all together and makes it look so realistic. Sprinkled a little cinnamon in a few spots for rust texture. If you hang in this channel with me, you're gonna learn all kinds of stuff. I tried to start writing a master list of all my tips, and I'm not done yet. And I've been working on it for almost a month. Keep my melon out of the way. I've entered a couple more group builds I'm looking forward to. One's going to be real special to me. It's the one by Sodak Models. Nice guy, by the way. The custom car. And because I like to build dioramas along with my models, I will be doing that. Because he didn't say anywhere in the rules that you couldn't. You've got to take a 4-corner photograph. And I'll be doing updates on it and stuff, because I have a dream. And that dream is to get a piece of a model car and a diorama into the Miniature Museum in Tucson. They have some model cars in there already, or they did last time I was there. I always go to the miniature show there. My wife's really into 1/12 scale, and that's my goal. But I am not going to expose what what the diorama is. It is a secret. And, but I think if I do it well enough, I think I got a shot. We do have a miniature museum here in Grand Haven, and I haven't approached them about anything, but I think there's a few places I could actually approach. This will be something that everybody with one look can get the theme. Might as well do these top surfaces while I'm at it, but I'll save the walls, because when I shake it out, some will hit the walls. And I want to see what it looks like before I do too much, if there is such a thing. Oh, see, that's loose. Probably forgot to glue it. Well, that happens. I got a post here too that I gotta do. That post will end up going right here. I don't know if you guys know the rule of thirds in landscape photography. You want a point of interest about a third of the way, one side or the other, to help with your composition. And the wind blew and the pieces flew. If you'd heard me talk about my previous life when I had the restoration shop, I got a fair amount of attention for my skills. I was really more behind the scenes, but I had articles in the Star magazine, Mercedes, for some of the paint work I've done, and I did a lot of local, because there were no local cars of the caliber that we had, but I did local bikes and hot rods. Real good friend, became a good friend of mine. One day I needed a break at the shop, and it just happened that the Street Rod Nationals were taking place in Kalamazoo at the fairgrounds. So at noon, closed the shop up, and I went to the show. And I ran into the guy that runs the local hot rod shop, Rudder's Rod Shop. He's now retired. And he's in North Carolina, kind of by Hickory. Anyway, I ran into him, and he was all kind of bent over, couldn't hardly move, couldn't hardly talk because his breath was catching all the time. And I asked him what happened, and he was having some sciatica issues, severe ones. And he wasn't going to be able to operate his shop. Well, I was getting close to retiring in my shop, and I had suffered a loss, a big one. My nephew, Harry, who was like a son to me, 8 years old. And I was there when it happened. We were coming back from a birthday party, and Harry spent a lot of time with me. He went to the shop with me, he went to my bakery with me. I mean, he was really like a son. I'm going to do the roof here. You won't be able to see it. And you probably won't be able to see it in the diorama either, but I will know it's done. Well, we came back from a birthday party, and he and his sisters were playing. And they were running around this kitchen island, and he just dropped. And I knew immediately immediately it was serious, and I started CPR, and he didn't make it. And I took Harry to the shop every day. He would play in my office. I had him set up a drafting table, and he would draw and work on models of stuff and build stuff and come out in the shop and see what we were doing. And around noon, we'd go over to the bakery and bag bread. Might as well do the walls. What the heck? And so we were close. We were tight. And it was a big loss. And that's when I knew it was time to retire. Because I couldn't go to my shop anymore. And that's why on that day, I closed the shop at noon, and I went to that Street Rod Nationals and talking to Bob and how he couldn't do anything. I said, I'll run your shop. And I did for 3 years, and then retired. He didn't really run his shop. His wife was a big part of the shop, so she was really the one, but did a lot of work there. And he had a really good employee. His name was Doug. He worked previously at a company that made fiberglass replicas of 32 roadsters and coupes, or sedans, called Downs in Bloomingdale, I think it was, or Gobles. But that place had closed down, and Doug needed a job, and Bob found him, and me and Doug, we became fast friends and very good at coordinating the jobs in the shop to our strengths. And we got a lot of work done. And I got a chance to do something other than Mercedes. We had old drag cars coming in, and of course here in Michigan we have a lot of rust. So a lot of rust repair, new panels. You know, I was wheeling hoods and making louvers and all kinds of stuff that, you know, bead rolling, and I'm real good with electrical. So it was a good fit for me. Even custom motorcycles were showing up. That was kind of before the big boom though. There. I'm gonna cut here and shake this out. I'll be right